You picked something up today, maybe at checkout, maybe while scrolling. You did not plan to, you did not need it. But something inside you said yes before your mind could say no. That feeling is not weak will. It is not poor discipline. For almost all of human history, that feeling did not exist. Not once. Not one single ancient human ever bought something on impulse. Not because they were stronger than you, because the thing that triggers it simply was not there. But now it is everywhere, and your brain still does not know how to stop it. Think about the last time you walked into a shop for one thing. You walked out with 4. You did not plan the other 3. You did not sit down and decide. Something just happened between the door and the counter, and afterward, you felt a version of regret you could not quite name. Here is what is strange. That feeling, that small, quiet shame, is brand new. Not new to you, new to the species. For roughly 300,000 years, your ancestors made decisions about objects very differently. Every single choice had a physical cost attached to it. Not a price tag, a weight. If you picked something up, you carried it. And ancient humans moved, often. A researcher named Frank Marlowe spent years studying the Hadza people of Tanzania. His findings, published in 2010, showed that hunter-gatherer groups relocated their camps multiple times every year, often close to once a month, as local food sources were used up. Everything a person owned had to travel with them on their back. Now think about that for a moment. You are standing at the edge of a new camp. Your feet are sore. Your shoulders ache. In your hands, you are holding everything you own in the world. Would you pick up something you did not need? Of course not. The body made the decision before the mind even had to. But it goes deeper than weight. Ancient humans did not have private property the way you understand it. Objects were not owned the way a phone or a jacket is owned today. In 1990, a researcher named Nurit Bird-David published work on what she called the giving environment. She studied forest-dwelling groups in South India and found that objects moved constantly between people. Nothing stayed with one person for long. If you had something and someone else needed it, it moved. Not because people were selfless, because holding on to more than you needed made no sense. There was nowhere to store it. No house, no drawer, no closet. The land gave, the land took, and so did the people living on it. So when an ancient human picked up an object, the question was never, do I want this? The question was, can I carry this, and will it still matter tomorrow? That is a completely different relationship with things. And here is where it starts to get uncomfortable. Your brain is still running that same calculation. Every time you see something you want, your ancient mind asks a fast, quiet question. Will this help me survive? The problem is that modern shops, apps, and websites are designed to make everything feel like survival. The red sale tag, the low stock warning, the limited time offer. These are not accidents. They are designed to speak directly to the part of your brain that is still standing at the edge of that ancient camp. The part that thinks scarcity is real. The part that believes if you do not take it now, it will be gone. And gone to that ancient part of you does not mean sold out. It means dead. But here is what nobody talks about. The ancient human did not resist impulse buying because they had better self-control. They never needed self-control at all. The environment made the decision for them. Picture a fire at night. 30 people sitting around it. Children, elders, hunters, everyone. Someone pulls out a piece of food. Before the fire burns low, it is gone. Shared, divided, finished. Not because ancient humans were generous by nature, because holding food alone, in the dark, was dangerous. It invited suspicion, and in a small group where everyone depended on everyone else, suspicion could cost you your life. A researcher named Michael Gervin spent years studying food sharing among small-scale societies. His analysis, published in 2004, found that hoarding resources was not just socially punished. It was socially costly. People who kept too much for themselves risked losing standing and support within the group. And losing that support, in the ancient world, was one of the most dangerous positions a human could be in. So the brain learned something. It learned that accumulating objects beyond what you needed was a threat signal, not to others, to yourself. More stuff meant more weight. More weight meant slower movement. Slower movement meant danger. Your ancestors did not avoid excess because they were wise. They avoided it because excess could kill them. Now stand in a shopping center. The lights are warm, the air smells faintly of something sweet. The music is low, just below the level you consciously notice. Every surface is designed to make you feel safe, comfortable, calm, at home. And then you see it, a display, a price, a sign that says ending soon, and something in your chest moves before you think. That movement is not weakness. That is 300,000 years of survival logic firing in an environment it was never built for. Here is what is fascinating. In 2008, a researcher named Kathleen Vohs published a study on decision fatigue. She found that the more choices a person makes throughout the day, the worse each decision becomes. By the time you reach the checkout, your brain is tired. Not physically tired, tired from deciding. And a tired brain defaults to yes. Ancient humans made far fewer decisions about objects in an entire lifetime than you make on a single afternoon in a shop. Every aisle you walk down costs you something invisible, a small piece of your brain's daily energy. And the shops know this. The most profitable items are never at the entrance. They are placed exactly where your resistance runs out. But here is the part that nobody mentions. The ancient human was not free of wanting. They wanted. They felt desire just as sharply as you do. But desire, in the ancient world, had nowhere to go. There was no shop, no scroll, no cart to fill. Want would rise and then dissolve, because the world did not offer it a place to land. Your want is the same ancient signal, the same ancient heat, but now it has 10,000 places to land before you even finish breakfast. And your brain, still ancient in every way that matters, has no idea what hit it. Here is what nobody talks about. You have probably called yourself impulsive, maybe more than once, maybe with real frustration behind it, like it is a character flaw you were handed and cannot return. But think about what impulsive actually means. It means your brain responded to a signal faster than your conscious mind could catch it. That is not a flaw. That is exactly what a healthy ancient brain was designed to do. In the ancient world, slow decisions cost lives. You saw food, you moved toward it. You saw danger, you ran. The brain that hesitated was not the brain that survived. Speed was the whole point. A researcher named Antonio Damasio spent years studying patients with damage to the part of the brain that processes emotion and instinct. His findings showed something that turned the field upside down. People who could not feel emotional pulls made worse decisions, not better ones. They would sit for hours choosing between two ordinary options, unable to move, paralyzed by pure logic. Your impulse system is not broken. It is one of the most sophisticated tools your body has ever built. The problem is not the tool. The problem is the environment the tool is being used in. Picture your ancestor again, standing at the edge of a field, scanning the tree line, feeling a pull toward movement before they understand why. That pull saved them. Now picture you, lying in bed at midnight, phone in hand, feeling a pull toward a button that says buy now. Same pull, same brain. Completely different world. And here is where it gets quietly strange. The things that trigger impulse buying today were not designed by accident. Consumer psychologists who study retail environments, including researcher Paul Marsden, have written about how retailers deliberately design spaces to trigger what is known as approach motivation. Warm lighting, rounded corners, open layouts, elements chosen to lower the ancient brain's threat response. To make the environment feel like safety, like abundance, like the moment after a successful hunt when the whole group eats together. Your brain does not see a shop, it sees a moment of plenty. And in moments of plenty, ancient humans took what they could, because plenty never lasted. You are not buying a thing you do not need. Your brain is gathering before the winter comes, a winter that has not come in 10,000 years, but your brain does not know that. It was never told. So the next time you feel that pull, that small, fast, wordless yes before you even think, know what it is. It is not failure. It is not weakness. It is not something wrong with you. It is the oldest part of you, still scanning, still gathering, still trying to keep you alive in a world that no longer exists. The field is gone. The tribe is gone. The winter your brain is preparing for never arrives, but the pull remains. It always will.